I think it's because back then the playing field was a little bit more skewed, right? So
Yeah.
if you join the Apple ecosystem, you would have so many more things like AirPlay and AirDrop and like
Right.
continuity and all the stuff that kind of kept you in the ecosystem, and it was so much more superior than the Android ecosystem because it's so fragmented on that side. But I think since then, the playing field has been leveled out. Now you can have what is it, AirDrop. You can have AirDrop now on Android, so that completely negates the that whole barrier.
This airdrop idea. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now they have RCS, so the whole green bubble, blue bubble is
Yeah.
really not that big of a deal anymore. So,
No.
yeah, it's. I agree with you. That I think the level, because we're going back to the whole Apple moving slower than Android, and now it's starting to catch up to them. That's the whole point. Is because they're. I get it. You know, you want to move a little bit slower, and when you do release a product, it is significantly better than the competition. So I
Right.
get why that's a thing, but now it's gotten to the point where the other platforms has completely surpassed iOS and any of
Yeah.
the Apple ecosystems, and now we're starting to interbreed. And there's an app now where if you want to switch from Android to Apple, you just log in on both systems and it just does it for you. So
Oh
it's
my God.
super easy to
Yeah.
switch now. Yeah, I don't know. Apple literally dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that up because it's literally the one of the things I was looking into. I was like, so okay, so what's gonna be the process of putting my stuff
Yes,
over? Maybe that's a little bit more complicated. Maybe I don't want to do it all that. Maybe I don't want to do all of that. Literally as easy as logging in. That's crazy to me
it's
because we were
nuts.
thinking about a time that like that wasn't possible. That if you wanted to switch, it was extremely hard and you had to start all over
It's
and
so
blah blah
daunting.
blah.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
dreaded doing that. Yeah.
Right. And there are plenty of apps that I have paid for in the Apple App Store that I would kind of, miss in the sense that I've already paid for them. So having to pay for them again sucks.
Hmm.
Or I've already paid for them because they're, like in order to strictly download them to the iPhone, you're paying for the app. Kind of those apps that have
Hmm.
existed for a long time, but are now becoming less and less popular because now companies prefer to offer you the free app with maybe a 7-day trial, and then you can pay for the pro version. And then, maybe you download the free app, but you have to have an account that you're already paying for. So the companies are really shifting their mindset to be able to kind of give that flexibility and probably not even on purpose. Maybe their whole point is to try to make more money, but what ironically they're doing is that they're allowing the device wars to be void because you don't need an iPhone to specifically use this app. You can have them both. They're available on both stores. Now, is there something to be said about the exclusivity of Apple versus Android, depending on what that exclusivity is? Like, what are you looking for that's exclusive to the iPhone, exclusive to the Android? And there may be arguments to that, maybe depending on your industry, depending on your use case. But I'm looking at it as a person who uses my phone strictly for, nowadays is like social media, texting, calling, Google searching. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, making magic with my phone. I'm literally using it like an everyday device. Do I want the iPhone Pro Max 17, the newest and the most expensive? Of course I
Of
do.
course.
Because, yeah, because I'm a rich bitch. But I'm not, I'm poor. But because I want to pretend I have money, I want to cosplay money. I like the biggest and the best and the top. But that's only because I like the bigger screen and I like the
Hmm.
idea that it has more power, not necessarily because for whatever reason I want to do something fun like add emulators or play a game that might require a lot more. So I like the idea of having that accessibility. And even then, I still don't feel like I need all of that. So
No, that's not exclusive to the iPhones anymore.
no, it's not. And so it's like, okay, all right, well, why do you want to go to Android? Is the Z Fold just because it's a foldable screen? I'm like, yeah, because it's a foldable screen, because it's fucking cool, because it's
It's a
innovative.
tablet in your pocket. Yeah.
It's a tablet in your pocket. Like the idea that like people are like, well, why don't you just get a tablet? I was like, because I'm going to carry two devices around. And mind you, the tablet is already like solid. So if I wanted to have I need to have a backpack for it. I need to have a bag for it. And now I have two devices on me instead of one. I have one device and it's like, well, what do you need a tablet for? It's like, I don't know. It doesn't matter what I need it for. Do I want to watch a video that's going to be more, engaging and a bigger screen? Then, I can open up my YouTube app that is Google, that I pay premium for, that I don't have ads for, that is now accessible at like, at least a higher, resolution on my device, and I can show people, and I can have this like fully function, like this multifunctioning thing in my pocket that Apple just doesn't have. They don't have that. And they haven't had that. And I'm so scared. And I kind of don't even want to wait till September. You know what I mean? I'm so scared because I'm like, I will hate myself getting to September and the inevitable happens. And I'm just going to be like, I could have fucking switched a year ago. Are you kidding me?
I could have been having this foldable
I could have
phone,
been having
yeah.
this phone. But you know what I thought about too? There's a lot of companies now. I don't know, maybe not a lot. I know that Spectrum does, um, where if you're on Spectrum Mobile, you have anytime upgrade. And one of the things that they tote is that, like, as long as your phone is in good condition, you can upgrade anytime, meaning I can go to Galaxy now, and then in a year from now, or 6 months from now, or 3 months from now, if I want to switch to another phone, it's a free upgrade. I just have to pay the taxes, switch my phone, and it's good.
Damn.
And I like the idea of that because I know this sounds crazy, but I like the idea of that because I think that what's important about the phone races, especially when it comes to iPhone versus Android, is that innovation is only accessible if the user is able to test their products. If I'm not rich enough to afford 2 or 3 or 4 phones, which I am not, I will never, I was like, well, I can't really compare the difference between an Android and an iPhone because I've never had an Android. You know what I mean? And so you sort of get stuck in this cycle of sticking with iPhone because it's familiar, because you've had to have it. Because
Yeah.
the next time you're an upgrade or you break your phone or whatever, what are you going to do? I'll just get another iPhone. I guess that's what I know. And so I like the idea of companies offering this idea of like, no, test the field, figure out what you like. It may cost a little money up front to pay for the taxes, but at the end of the day, you get a brand new innovative phone and you get to see what it's like. And then you can just switch back. In this year, in this time period where the accessibility of switching back and forth from OSs is easy, I think that's a good thing. Because once people start to realize that they can have a better device and it's not iPhone, and they didn't need iPhone and didn't need Apple, Apple's going to have a hard time reconvincing people that iPhone is better.